Hello, it's Mujiba here. In this video, I'm going to be looking at 10 really high-paying dividend stocks. These stocks pay in the range of 10.35% to 24.36%. These are really high-paying dividend stocks. And this video is not financial advice. This is just my take on the stock market. So the first one we'll look at is Rio Tinto PLC ADR. So Rio Tinto ADR is a global mining company that explores for mines and processes mineral resources including aluminium, copper, diamonds, gold, titanium dioxide, borate salt, iron ore and uranium. Founded in 1873, Rio Tinto has its headquarters in London, the United Kingdom. Okay, you can read up on more information on Rio Tinto on the eToro site. I'll leave a link to the eToro site in the description below the video. Okay, if we look at the stats, okay, Rio Tinto has a market cap of 83.31 billion and it's paid a dividend of 6.845 per share, which is a yield of 10.25%, which is really high. Okay, if we look at the balance sheet, the total assets have always been higher than liabilities. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is NYMT, New York Mortgage Trust Incorporated. Okay, this was founded in 2003. The trust has headquarters in New York. The trust acquires interest in, manages and finances residential housing related and mortgage related assets. Okay. And it's currently trading at 3.74 per share. So if you look at the stats, it's got a market cap of 1.42 billion and it's paid out a dividend of 0.4 per share, which is a yield of 10.70%. 10.7% this is really high. And if we look at the balance sheet, total assets have always been higher than liabilities. Okay, let's look at the third one. It's EasyJet, and it's currently trading at 553.50. Okay, EasyJet is a low-cost European airline and package holiday provider serving customers across 32 countries. The firm has its headquarters in Luton, UK, and has been operating since 1995. Okay, let's look at the stats for EasyJet. EasyJet has a market cap of 4.2 billion and it's paid out a dividend of 0.586, which is a yield of 10.59%. So this is really high as well. Okay, due to the pandemic, there's not much data there because most of the airlines were on hold. They haven't been functioning, so there's not much data there. But they've managed to pay out a dividend yield of 10.59%. Okay, let's look at number 4. Okay, number 4 is NetWest Group PLC. NetWest Group PLC, in conjunction with its subsidiaries, provides personal, corporate, commercial and institutional financial and banking services within the United Kingdom. Initially known as the Royal Bank of Scotland, the company was founded in 1727. So it's one of the major banks in the UK. And NetWest shares are currently trading at 226.20. And if we look at the stats, NetWest has a market cap of 25.48 billion and it's paid a dividend of 0.25 per share, which is an yield of 11.05%. So this is really high. Let's look at the balance sheet. Balance sheet is not looking too healthy though. Total assets and total liabilities are pretty close. But this is what happens in a banking sector. In the financial sector, you get this type of assets and liabilities very close. Okay, let's look at the next one, the 5th one on the list. The 5th one on the list is Sands China Limited. Sands China Limited, founded in 2009, Sands China Limited is one of the most successful owners and operators of casinos and resorts in the Chinese territory of Macau. Sands China owns several different properties: the Plaza Macau, Sands Macau, Venetian Macau, and the Cotai Arena. Okay, so this is they own casinos. And if we look at the stats for Sands China Limited, they have a market cap of 1.42.76 billion and they've paid a dividend of 1.99 per share, which is a yield of 11.09%, which is quite high. So they're in the casinos and gaming industry. If we look at the balance sheet, This is also, there's not much information there because most of the casinos were shut down during the pandemic. So now that they've opened up, they've paid a dividend of 11.09%. Okay, let's look at the sixth one on the list. Is IVR, Investco Mortgage Capital Incorporated. Investco Mortgage Capital Incorporated is a real estate investment trust established in 2008, based in Atlanta, Georgia. The trust focuses on investment in and management of residential and commercial mortgage-backed securities across the US. Okay, that's information on Investco. So if we look at the Investco is currently trading at 2.86, and if we go to the stats, it has a market cap of 891.58 million, and they paid a dividend of 0.36 per share, which is a yield of 12.59%. So this is really high. So we look at the industry. It's in real estate investment trusts, and the sector is finance. It's in the finance sector. And if we look at the balance sheet, okay, total assets have been higher than liabilities. It's not looking too bad. Okay, let's move on to the seventh one on the list. Okay, the seventh one is Deutsche Lufthansa Aktiengesellschaft. Don't know if I'm saying this right. So I'm just going to go with just call it Deutsche Lufthansa. Deutsche Lufthansa AG dates back to 1926 and is a global aviation company. Following a structure adjustment that took place in 2017, the company operates through the business segments of New York Airlines, Point-to-Point Airlines, Aviation Services, and additional business and group functions. Okay, Deutsche Lufthansa AG is currently trading at 6.16 per share. So if we look at the stats, Deutsche Lufthansa has a market cap of 7.39 billion, and it's paid a dividend of 0.8 per share, which is an yield of 12.98%. So this is really high, nearly 13% paid up. And it's in the transportation sector, and the industry is airlines. So maybe we won't see much on the balance sheet. Okay, it's showing balance sheet. Okay, on the balance sheet, the total assets are showing higher than liabilities, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, let's look at the eighth one on the list. Okay, the eighth one is Centrica. Based in Windsor, UK, Centrica is a multinational energy services solutions company. The firm has been operating as Centrica plc since 1997, providing energy solutions to customers across the UK and Ireland and to businesses worldwide. Okay, they're a energy services solution company. Okay, with the current state of prices in the energy sector, this may be a good investment. So Centrica is currently trading at 71.58 per share. Okay, if we look at the stats, Centrica has a market cap of 4.16 billion and they've paid a dividend of 0.12 per share, which is a yield of 16.76%. So this is really high. And the sector is utilities and the industry is gas distributors. So if we look at the balance sheet, it's not too bad. Total assets have always been higher than liabilities, so they may continue paying out dividends, good dividends. Okay, let's head on to the 9th one on the list. Ferrexpo plc. Okay, Ferrexpo plc mines, processes and sells iron ore pellets, operating mines in Ukraine and sales operations around the world. The company is located in the Poltava region of Ukraine, and its asset base is the largest iron ore deposit in Europe, with approximately 20 billion tons of resources. Okay, no wonder why Russia wants to get into Ukraine. Shouldn't really go into politics, but just saying that. Right. Ferrexpo plc is currently trading at 300.93, and if we look at the stats, he has a market cap of 1.78 billion. If we look at the balance sheet, okay, the total assets have always been higher than liabilities. Okay, in this graph, so it looks pretty good. It looks in pretty good shape. That's my analysis of it. Okay, the dividend yield is 0.7139 per share, which is a dividend. This is dividend, and the yield is 23.72%. 23.72%. This is really high. Okay, it's worth looking into this. Ferrexpo plc, and the ticker symbol is FXPOL.L. This is on the London Stock Exchange. You can find it on eToro. Okay, let's move on to the final one. The 10th one on the list is FRO. Frontline Limited, FRO. ticker symbol. Frontline Limited is a shipping firm based in Hamilton, Bermuda. It was established in 1985 and specializes in transporting oil and gas products. The company is listed on the New York Stock Exchange using the ticker FRO and operates across the globe. For more information about the latest, follow. Right. Okay. Frontline is currently trading at 7.05 per share. And if we look at the stats, okay, the market cap for Frontline is 1.39 billion. And if you look at the dividend yield, dividend 1.7 was paid out per share, which is a yield of 24.11%. So when I last looked at it, it was 24.36%. So it's gone down a little bit there. Okay, corrected itself. Which still, this is really high. It's worth looking into it. Okay, if we look at the balance sheet looks pretty good. Total assets is way higher than total liabilities. So I think they can continue paying dividends. I don't know how high they're going to be though. So if we look at the sector for this, it's in transportation, and the industry is marine shipping. So this is the final one. It's worth having a look at it. All the stocks that I've shown you, this is just my analysis of it. This is not financial advice. So if you're going to invest in it, it's worth you checking it out. Looking through them. Okay, it's been a rather long video, so I'm going to end it here. And thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know your thoughts on these high dividends. And leave your comments in the comment section below the video. And I'll leave you a link to eToro in the description of this video as well. If you want to use eToro to trade stocks, you can do so. This is what I use currently. So once again, thanks for watching the video.